You are now listening to Conscientization 101, an online magazine combining reflection, music, and action through independent media.
It's very important to be with conscious African women and men. And I'm very excited to see Conscientization 101, to see Sister Zari there and the brother James, and to see that you have started an organization to conscientize the world, especially African people, about what's really going on in this world.
Conscientization 101.
A lot of these people right now in this conscious, so-called conscious movement, they're not actually living in that lifestyle.
Bakers.
That's why, obviously yourself, we're on the same sort of frequency. That's why you're listening to the same things I'm listening to, because we're sharing that same sort of thought. We want the same sort of things, and a lot of people don't want the same sort of things. Even yourself, what you're doing now is for the people. So everything is people-based.
Globally conscientizing.
What's making me proud of what this kind of connection here is that, no matter what is said, no matter what is done, you leave listening to our music with a feeling. The same way we're going to leave this conversation with a feeling. And that is the most important thing for I and I, the vibe and the energy and the feeling that you leave with, because you might not remember every lyric, but you're going to remember the feeling. So that's really important, and that's what I'm getting from what you're doing.
Can't you be sincere? Do you feel my fears? Can't you be sincere? Do you feel my fears?
All right, we are back in this bitch. Yes, it's good to be back.
Yep.
Conscientization 101. After our long, what do we call it?
Hiatus.
Sabbatical. Cause motherfuckers was fucking up. Not us, but other people. But we won't name names.
So it really wasn't
Unless you ask.
sabbatical.
But it was a sabbatical because we were studying. We've read a lot of shit since then.
We were working too.
We were working, doing a lot of stuff. That was in November 2015. Last interview was with our brothers from RU1 Fam. Shout out to them. But we are back. The website has a new look. And in case you didn't notice, I think you did notice because you follow this show, that we had a new intro.
Yeah.
Did you hear the new intro?
Yes.
Did you like the new intro?
I like it.
Thank you. I know y'all gonna like it too. I produced that about 11 months ago, maybe 10, 11, I don't know, 11 months ago, a while back. Mm-hmm. On that intro is Dr. Julia Cooney, who we from our interview. We got the one and only Colonised, the natural disaster, coming up second, speaking in the intro. And also Y2C87 from RU1 Fam, man. I'm telling you, man, we was getting ready for this.
Yep.
We had little setbacks, but now we are back. Zari, why don't you tell them what we got new? What do we have new? What do we have new? What's updated? Because I think we got rid of that subscription model.
Yes.
We got rid of the subscription model. So tell them what's new.
Okay, so we got a new store, and the website got a new makeover. So our website is a lot more open. It's a lot easier to find information. And it just looks really clean. We really like it. So we think you'll like it, In addition, we did get rid of that subscription model. We wanted to make sure that basically the information is available as people want it. So we got a store. And all the musical commentaries, all of the unabridged interviews can be found in the store that's on the website. We have a menu item with the store. And we also have merchandise.
Merchandise, yes. Going back to that digital downloads, we got all the unabridged interviews from the first 20 podcasts. You got the unabridged interviews there. We got the musical commentaries that we produce. And they are available in the store, so you can download them. You got previews, you can even listen to them.
Yep.
But the for the unabridged interview, this is the podcast. The podcast is the preview, okay? That's what that is. But also, we got this merchandise. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Why don't you tell them about that merchandise that we got in the store right now called the Umi Quilombo original shirt, only, exclusively, trademark.
Yep, flagship,
trademark for Conscientization 101. Don't y'all motherfuckers try to steal that shit. I'm putting you on notice now, okay? That shit, you gonna be in trouble. Verbal notice, because you don't want to see the unverbalized notice.
I'm going to talk about these podcasts, though.
Why don't you gonna talk about the podcast?
Yes.
You gonna talk about what about the shirt?
I'm going to talk about the shirt.
I'm so excited. As you can see, we big on. I'm back. We're back. Yay! C101 in the building. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sister.
Well, our previous podcast, we went in and we numbered them so that whenever new people subscribe, and old people that have been listening, then you can locate the episodes easily. And it's in sequential order and, it's easy to find.
Where else can you subscribe? Is it just on iTunes?
I was just going to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we also added that you can subscribe on Android. So you can subscribe on iTunes and Android. And that's pretty much it, So check out the podcast if you haven't subscribed already, or if you're just listening to this first episode or whatever and you haven't subscribe, because it's good things on there.
Okay, I just want to say this before we got into it and started about what this show. First of all, I'm gonna let y'all know this show is gonna go over an hour.
Yes.
Okay, because we back and we got something very special for y'all. Because I need no MC cosign. Oh, did I just give you a hit? All right. No, let me just recapitulate what Zari said. No more subscriptions.
Nope.
The produced commentaries with the music that we produce in the studio are original thoughts put to action. All available in the store at a cheap price. Because we know it's hard out here. So you can go in there and download that shit. Get it for your friends, get it for your mama and them, your girlfriend and them, your boyfriend and them, whatever you need to do. Pass this information on to them. We can put some theory and practice together for development for conscientization. And that should be just like this, baby, 101. Oh my goodness, okay.
So I'm going to talk about the shirts.
Oh, damn. Talk about the shirts. We are pumped to be back.
So now I'm going back to the shirts. Basically, the shirts, we came up with the name Umi Quilombo because Umi is the Yao word for life in the Yao language of Malawi. And Quilombos, which most people who listen to this podcast probably know what they are, but if you don't, they were the liberated African territories in Brazil where we had to develop settlements to escape Portuguese enslavers.
So when you look at the Umi Quilombo shirt in the C101 store, which I know you're going to buy about 50, 11 of them, right? You're going to buy about 50, 11 of them. You're going to buy so many it don't make no sense, right? When you buy them, you see it's a sister on the shirt.
Yes.
Because you see, Umi, the woman, represent life now. All right. Now, so you put that together. You got the woman, you got the birth of the new nation. I know Birth of the Nation, no Klan movie, no shit like that. Before y'all get that twisted. But you got the rebirth of the African nation with all the people, but you got the sister on there. You see other things going on in the world, but she is reading. Because she's going to have informed practice, okay? We're going to take this over because we're going to have informed practice. That's how you get conscientization. That's the significance of that shirt. And that's why you need to buy it.
Yes.
Because you're supporting this. You're supporting 100% independent media, but we'll get back to that. That's why you need to buy it. You got anything to sell?
And we want you to be able to explain it to people when they say, man, that's a really cool shirt.
Yes. That's really true because look, and we're here to say, we're not tripping off people if they don't know information. I see so many people who know a little something, they get a little snooty because people don't know it. But when you do know, you have a responsibility to act. If you don't act based on information that you know, you're a traitor, and I got some physicalities for you. No, I don't, because I would never say that on the microphone. That's it. I'm joking.
Having a laugh.
I'm having a laugh. I kid. I'm having a laugh. I'm just joking. All right. Did we miss anything?
Nope, that's everything.
So we're going to get into who's going to be on the show today.
Yeah.
After all this time. And
we're really excited about putting it out there.
All right. So we will be having the one, the only, He needs no MC cosign.
I need no MC cosign. He came up on the roadside, found one way like a road sign. My race first in that boat ride, my soul glow, no slime. Mentally when it's go time, that spearhead and a go hide. I stay black on both sides.
One and only singer extraordinaire, rapper extraordinaire, my African brother, my brother. Literally, we was both listening to Master P.
Yeah, product of my environment. Real bad boys, Jake and Mike Lowry. My little Donny bout it. He got drive, he let it ring 4 times in the Audi. F what you can do about it. Man, I'm got the hook up, we mastered the P, now we bout it. No limit, so why you counting? I graduated from the school of kettle poppers and we out here. You're saying that ain't a good look, huh? Well, that was then, this is now. I done flip shit round. I just spent 5 bills on books. Follow me.
My brother, Big Frizzle.
My God, 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 my God. The beast been cooking in the kitchen since way back, since the Union jacked the nation but never gave back. That bacon did scramble for Africa, then gain fat. Not the African, but the bacon, a strange fact. Blood from the enslaved on your apron, you should change that. Hey, little African, you're hungry, you can taste scraps. Something smells sweet in the oven, I won't taste that. I want every piece of that African cake back. Got my own factory, and you know what we bake here. Food for African food, you want a plate here. I'ma dish your Last Supper out right now. Before Jesus, we were living in the valley of the now. You living in the now. My presence from the past, but I'm living in the now. And I'm still going. My deliverance a killer like a mother and a stillborn. We up shit creek with no paddle, but we still rowing. Can't see my growth, it's intense, not feel growing. Black and I'm proud, you won't know now, but you will know it. Rasta, shake D up on the YouTube in me casa. Garvey ideologies, that's why I rock trap star. That go together like Italians and pasta. Son of God, child of the diaspora. You disrespect the motherland and you get smacked up. 2016, you gon' marvel this Black Panther.
Can you dig it?
My God.
Can you dig it?
My God.
Can you dig it?
My God.
Yeah, finally.
Yes, so we did this interview back in January. It was January 16, 2016.
Yep.
We talked to our brother, who I've been listening to Big Frizzle music for we've been listening to Big Frizzle music. That goes to I. Slap me, sister. I can't be about the individualism.
Did you hear the slap?
Did you hear the slap? Damn. But we've been listening to Big Frizzle for about about half a decade now.
Yeah.
Half a decade singing and rapping and
Doing everything
doing
else.
everything. And sorry, you know, you met me. You know, I like singing. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
It's just what I be singing. I'm gonna sing like Desaline. Sing with this machete. They say they call me. Oh, that's Big Frizzle. I'm sorry, Big Frizzle. But Big Frizzle, we talked to him over 2.5 hours. So you're gonna hear excerpts. We had to break this up into 2 parts. 2 parts. So it's gonna be available unabridged in the store, which you're gonna purchase it in 2 parts. So we're gonna play you excerpts from part 1. The unabridged part 1 comes in at a little bit over an hour and 16 minutes. So what you're gonna do is, like I said, we just playing excerpts and you only gonna hear a little bit of it. So that's why you just gonna go ahead and go into the store and buy the unabridged, cause it's Big Frizzle, okay? And in case you don't know who Big Frizzle is, you've been living under a rock. That's okay. That's okay. That's what we here for.
Exactly. That's the purpose.
Zari, give him a brief vitae or bio of my brother, Big Frizzle. give him a brief, Zari. Read in your nice reporter journalistic voice, okay?
Okay, well, Big Frizzle is a multi-talented lyricist, singer, writer, and student and teacher of African history and culture. He has been featured on countless albums as an MC and singer, and he has released his much anticipated album titled Family First, Africa for Africans Edition. And we have made a special, well, actually, James has produced, it's really tight too. He has produced
Thank you very much.
a sampler of Big Frizzle's music because, you know, Big Frizzle is everywhere. Like, he's on everybody's songs.
They say they call
I mean, so it's like, to really get an idea of who he is, we decided that, you know, this would be a good idea. So you can kind of hear what, you know, his music and the music he's been on. So, and also, we want to make a correction.
Yeah, I want to make a correction because y'all, as y'all know, y'all people who are supporters of the show, y'all know I tend to talk. Sometimes I talk faster. I think faster than my mouth can like get out the idea because I get so excited. I'm reconnecting with my brothers and sisters from out the diaspora. I'm reconnecting with good people all over the world, finding out about all this good music, finding out all this good work. I was, you know, at the time of, you know, we were preparing for the interview with Big Frizzle. Every year in January, I always try to read a book about Haiti. Now, some of you go say, what are you, Haitian or something? You damn right I'm Haitian, because I'm an African. That's right, because I've been gasoline your ass. But I try to always read something about Haiti. And, you know, when you read, sometimes you read books and you come across words and you don't say in your everyday, in everyday conversations with people. And so, you know, Bookman, his name was Bookman Duty, who set it off. I was about to mess up now. I guess I was listening to so much Goody Mob when I was in high school that I just learned to say, I looked at Duty and it said Duddy. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, well, feel that shit, Duddy. Y'all who know Goody Mob, listen to Goody Mob, you know what the hell I'm talking about. So, you know, when you read books, sometimes you be like, oh, man, nah, I'm going to say Duddy. So I was in the interview, I said, yeah, I asked him a question, I said, is it Bookman, Duddy, and he was like, see, I'm about to do it again. Bookman
Duty.
It's Bookman Duty because he had a duty, because I'm a bookman. If you come where I stay, I got a lot of books, you gonna call me a straight bookman. That's why Big Frizzle do. I can't do the Barry White Big Frizzle thing, but you know, I try. But I be singing with you for they say they call me. But see, I'm a bookman, and it's my duty to conscientize y'all. So when y'all hear me say Bookman Duddy, just forgive me, you know. Just forgive me. I'm sorry, Big Frizzle. I'm sorry.
The energy.
It's the energy. And again, we are back. Conscientization 101. Check out the updates to the website. Look at the beautifulness of it. No more subscriptions. Go in the store. Pick what you want. Download it. Order you a shirt. We gonna get into this mashup with our brother, Big Frizzle. And after you listen to that, we're gonna go straight into the excerpts of the interview we did. This is part 1 of Big Frizzle's Family First Africa for Africans edition. Y'all need to download it. We'll put links in the description. It's a free album. And Big Frizzle's gonna have you saying, my God.
This is Black history, the school system made it a mystery, but it laid the foundation for you and me, so we put it in our music for you to see. This is Black history, the school system made it a mystery, but it laid the foundation for you and me, so we put it in our music for you to see. Listen to the saga, Mamadou Diallo, father little Aminata, taught her in the ways of the Quran, no drama. 11 years old, she was taken from her mother, the hardest journey ever across that great river. 3 moons in that giant canoe, now they deliver. Back to back, blacks on blacks, look how she shivers. You wanna know how she grows? We'll learn more when you read the book of Negroes.
I am an activist. My color's black, my shade is night. I'm back in this. I am an activist. My color's black, my shade is night. I'm back in this. I am an activist. All I know is this life I have.
people act richer and they're really broke, and the rich act broke when obvious they cope. And it's funny how the people that you used to know are switching up every day quicker than changing clothes. And wifeys back in the day turn into hoes. Used to be a pretty flower, now a weathered rose. And close friends quickly turn into foes. And money over bitches, ain't that how the saying goes? Now the saying now is money over everything. Well, if it's over everything, brother, how we gon' ever win? The youths are killing each other to get the better things. When you say better things, you ain't talking that better bling. I'm talking about anything, the new slang is get it in. And when we get it in, it's rewards that we getting out. And don't you wonder how there's so many weapons now? And it's funny how only money we running down.
I'm funny how some people style. The checks say them in when I'm out. I'm funny how some people style. When you really find out what them about. I'm funny how some people style. Your checks say them in when I'm out. I'm funny how some people style. You really, ay. I don't need a shadow. I'm on my own. I ain't running down nobody. Leave me alone.
I ain't running down no one or nothing. Settle for my love, Patrice Russian, understand muffin. I front a band, on top of that I'm a dad. And plenty of commitments, miss, I already have. So I'm on my own and I like it. I zone in the night shift with one pretty face that I can vibe with. No strings attached, no gas, just fun. And even though she stacks, see her back from the front. I don't wanna be an item, I wanna be left alone. Better off in that position and guessing, trust me, I know. Frizzle living that single life, like cameo. Carry a lady, but never would I carry a hoe. Marry a lady, not saying never, but for now it's no. So I'ma slow my roll. I don't ride no coattails and lead no shadows. Back to back cheese splits, hell no, I ain't paro.
I don't need a shadow. I'm on my own. I ain't running down nobody. Leave me alone. I do my thing. I do my thing. Said I do my thing. I do my thing. I do my thing. I do my thing. Said I do my thing. I do my thing. I tell you how I do this. My sound's the truest, and People's Army is the movement. And this ain't nothing that you're really used to. If you like it, then the feeling's very mutual. Delivery and timing very crucial. And I tell you, we on a roll. And where we end, no one knows. But we gon' reach our goals. Yes, believe in us. Remember, this a movement. I tell you, this a movement. I do my thing. I do my thing. Said I do my thing. I do my thing.
Army, my soldiers, man. Some new generation soldiers. Where's all my soldiers at? Walkie to phones out here. Let's whatever. Connect with my soldiers. Africa to go. See me on the road, shows. My soldiers.
I am his soldier from the general. I came with this gift, no fame. I equipped for all terrain. When I dip, slow-mo was never a goal where I live. And I ain't in a letting down my guard in the crib. My best friend's a rifle, my canteen a swig. Warm H2O cause a brother trying to live. I'm going all in, no lying. I ride with the army like I'm saving Private Ryan. I'm soldier brick tight and not gas, not hyping. A wizard with my writing, on the range like a Sag. No arrows, just a Mac. On my foot, not a cab. And a Rocky on my back. And the ground that I covered, I ain't never getting back. I'm soldier brick sick in this, stealth mode ridiculous. Fight wars, we all know the pieces, what the mission is. I'm a soldier in his army and I fight till my very last breath in this.
I am a soldier.
I'm a street soldier, a real deep roller. Haven't they told ya?
I'm a soldier.
We're all trying to stack up. Brothers can't jack up, cause God is my
I
backup.
am a soldier. Life's one Ups and downs I know, but I'm breathing so have a tone. Life's one lucky road. Sometimes you feel low, but you're alive and kicking so have a tone. Now you person is not
Life don't weigh up like sniff on them Tanitas. 9 weeks my kids ain't seen them. Peas low, hair grown, trainer but I'm leaning. No cooked food, I'm eating noodles in the evening. Losing weight, my sister's on crack, on my brother in jail. I'm beefing with my pops, but he breathing them well. My children in trouble, my mother is stressed. My situation couldn't solve, but a strap and a vest wouldn't fall on me if I couldn't handle the test. That being said, I take a breath and I swell up my chest. I give thanks but shed tears, cause my granny is dead. Mary and Frizzle cursed the day you left, but granddad's still here. Victor Frizzle, no stick, no wheelchair. That's where I get my slave name from, it's real here. My son had porn on his PSP. I broke it down to him, I ain't mad. We spoke about it, joke about it. In fact, I am glad that he growing up but way too fast. I got a nerve, like it wasn't the same from my past. I laugh, it's risky. Tree picked me, had them quickly. They close to me, close for me.
I know you're
Martin said to have a dream. Marcus done showed me to go back to Africa. Malcolm said by any means, and if you Congolese then you know about the massacre. Martin said to have a dream. Marcus done showed me to go back to Africa. Malcolm said by any means, and if you Congolese then you know about the massacre. All black everything, blacker than I've ever been. More than my melanin, you're smelling what I'm telling them. Huey P vision, Nat Turner decisions. Rosa Parks defiance, stand for man like a giant. With no tool tail, pushing and we riot. Descended from Kemet and Kush, we won't quiet. Your new school blatant, or old school hating. I don't like these schools, I'm from the Zulu nation. Spit a bar like Shaka Chaka Spear. I erase them, war paint looking like Ghostface. Mike Myers and Jason. Your brother's been lost, concerned with being the boss of a dingy little enterprise that ain't worth a toss. Shouldn't have to scream R.I.P. for you to get it, cause Bear Brothers died for your bullshit, forget it. You're supposed to be real. Uncle Tom, step away from the house and join your brothers in the field. Martin said to have a dream. Marcus done showed me to go back to Africa. Malcolm said by any means, and if you Congolese then you know about the massacre. Martin said to have a dream. Marcus done showed me to go back to Africa. Malcolm said by any means, and if you Congolese then you know about the massacre. Diamond in the Congo soil, they unearth you. Now life plays hard like whoopee in color purple. Broad day curfew, rape and they murk you. Headshot 4 shells from a rat, no turtles. I said my brothers them can't go where they won't go. There's a bloody river flowing steady in the Congo. I speak older waste men beef over their postcode. Poor people fed up, we just trying to get our bread up. We used to be viewed as spear chucking coons. Now you're just a hoodie or a goon. Black bully in the room, my brother's fully confused. Talking all loose, they idolize Bishop and Juice. What's the use? Far worse than illiterate, my brothers ain't getting it. They can wash sniff but still can't wash the dishes. Now out to look good but can't see past the gimmick. There's a war going on outside, we all in it.
All right, another edition, Conscientization 101. We are here with the one, the only, who don't need the shadows. He ain't running down nobody, okay? Living the single life, doing the cameo. Activist, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go get the Book of Negroes, okay? He's having a heart-to-heart with us, okay? He's having a heart-to-heart with us. We are with the one and only Big Frizzle. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing extremely well, brother. Thank you. Doing real good.
Good.
Let's jump right into this. All right. We want to start with to know the listeners how you became familiar with your work, you know, because I think it was around 2010, 2011. I can't remember. I think it was around 2010, 2011. Depends on when the video was like put up. Whoever put it up, but I know y'all probably filmed it in 2010, but it was called This Is Black History, and it was like an all-star, like
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Lot of rappers.
Yes, there was a lot of rappers. And you know, you were like the 8th brother out the gate on the rap tip, but if we include Jody McIntyre, he started off with a poem. You know what I'm saying? Now I learned a lot from that video in the sense that like we learned a lot from that video in the sense that how Africans in Britain, I didn't know, the influence because America is kind of like a closed society. I didn't know that they called us nignogs. That was something Big Cake said. He said, "Big dog, you ain't a nigga or a nignog." I said, "Nignog? What the heck?
What the heck is a nignog?"
I said, "What the hell is a nignog?" Damn.
That wasn't even that too long ago. That was recent.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's just weird because you don't know all the little cute things they like to call us around the world, right? And, it was from that track that we saw, you came in there, you said you want to know the story how she grows. Go get that book of nigga. I can't even do the deep, bro. From throughout the interview, you're going to hear me probably saying, "My God." I like doing that. I be walking around the house. I be like, "Man, look at this shit right here." My God. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But you have a very strong delivery in terms of raps. Y'all go to C101, type in Big Frizz, you'll see what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Now, imagine to our surprise, right? Next thing you know, we see you in a video with Logic, Salute. We see you in a video with Jody McIntyre again, even Loki's in there, Jaja Soul's video, Activist, and you singing the hook. Mm-hmm. Okay, now you singing the hook. So now I got to ask myself, I'm calling my eye doctor because I'm like, "Man, look here, man, this prescription ain't strong enough." Because I know this ain't the same brother that sounded like Barry White on This Is Black History. Now he's singing this soulful riff, make me want to get rid of my Jodeci albums. But he's singing about he's an activist. His color's black and his shade is night. You know what I'm talking about? So I was like, this can't be true. And pretty much, I guess I have to say, from there, to say if I was to say, "Hey, this dude is kind of a multi-talented artist," that's like an understatement. And then we got the album from Academics, the collabo, you know what I'm saying? That's when we heard, "I'm a star, I'm a star.
I like that song.
I go hard, I go hard."
Yeah, that joint. I remember that.
Hey, I remember that joint. Listen to it 5 minutes ago, boy. I got on the phone with you, boy.
Yes.
I'll tell you what else I like. We had something so real, special, man. Hey, look. Hey.
It's like, see, when you speak about these music, sometimes I haven't heard those since I recorded them.
Really?
Wow.
Really?
You don't listen to your own music?
You said, I'm a star. It's like, wow. Yeah,
that
was crazy.
Yeah.
You should
me and
listen
Logic
to
would
it.
do loads of things like that, though. Me and Logic would be in the studio for hours, and we would just what would just come out of our mind. So that I'm a star, that would have been just like us mucking around, and then it just turns into something. We have like hundreds of songs just like that.
Oh man, y'all have some great songs in there. Lovers and friends, oh we love. I mean, look, we didn't just say turn over. Hey, let's see if this guy. We are listening like we said half a decade, man. So it's a real treat. Also, I love that water. I just want to tell you that water. Oh, yeah. I tell you the water. Yeah, that's the thing. I like singing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to hear people talking about just pay the rent and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But this brother African Center, so I like this boy. Look, lovers and friends.
Just pay the rent. Oh, you talking about you got to have
just in general, the general R&B. I like it. You know what I'm saying? But in general, I got. You know what I'm saying? I like stuff. When you say morphine.
I got it.
Okay, you got
we
it.
understand.
Right. Basically, listening audience, I'm sorry. He's very, very talented. From there, it was on with us. Academics, Nate's Life and Lyrics. It's the life that we all know. That's that human nature on there. That's free download. Okay? Shout out to Nate. We want you to get back in the studio, brother. Yes. Come on, what you doing, man? I be listening to him. It be making me want to be a better human being. Sometimes y'all don't know how many people didn't get their head buzzed because I was listening to Nate. Got that Marcel Cartier. Never be a slave. Hey, and I have to say, one of my all-time favorite tracks. Zari, what do I do whenever I hear this track? I strike a pose. I be in the ride, rolling down 610, 288, wherever you catch me rolling. And if I hear, I tell you how I do this.
I do my thing.
My style's the
He know
truth.
he does pose when that song comes on.
Man,
I don't know why.
That track make you just want to be the coolest brother in the world. You know what I'm saying? and that video is up on Conscientization 101 website. In the video, you got Logic. You got Logic. You got Turbulence, and you got a cameo from my brother Raggle Zulu Rebel. Rebs, holla at your boy. You got Rebs in that video. On the actual track, you got Big Case on there on the People Army General Salute Volume 2. Because Big Case said, I do like the big Kaluwa King. You know what I'm saying? So that's just naming a few. And then we got tracks like your All Black Everything, your latest track, My God. And then, as you can tell, I would say this is another one of my personal favorites, but damn, I got a lot of one of my personal favorites. Have a Toast. We're going to get into that later. Because for me, you know, that's the track when I'm about to, you know, going through some things. I'll put that track on because you got to have a toast.
That was the whole reason for that song. That was me saying, you know what, I'd just gone through a lot of bad stuff, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to carry on with this music thing. I'm going to just bounce back. But you know what? It's the more life thing. And that's what I put it down to. Like, regardless of what goes on, man, if I can wake up the next day, then how bad can it really be, innit? Like, if I can wake up and breathe, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that track is so real. Because, like, for me, it was my brother on crack and my sister was in jail at the time. You know what I'm saying? And
you serious? So, like, the reverse.
It's the reverse for me. Yeah, it's funny because when you never know how music is going to affect you. So when, like, you know, I heard that, I was just like, I was like, damn, you know, losing weight. You know, it was. We're going to get into that later because that track is like one of them soul-touching tracks, you know what I'm saying? For me, I sent it to my cousin earlier this week because, you know, he about, you know, off in Austin, you know what I'm saying, some other stuff. But I sent it to my, you know, anyway, we're going to get into that track. Now, Big Frizz, you know, having talent is very important, and you have shown through your body of work you have that. But more important than that is knowing how to use your talent. You know, and one of the things we've always the only thing we like to highlight on the website is like, you know, and you've shown through your catalog that through your work, you demonstrate you are an African. You weren't like, I just happen to be a chocolate covered human. I'm just that guy. No, you said I know who I am. I just happen to be black. No, you didn't say I just happen to be black, but you're using it to conscientize our people and then send us some smooth grooves. You know, so I don't want to be on no Christopher Columbus type thing or no Christopher Columbus type team and want to act like, you know, we done discovered you or something, like you the Taino or the Arawaks and something on the Bahamas. So we want you to tell the listening audience, how did you get into the music game and stuff like that?
So basically, a very long time I've been doing it. I don't know, you know, a lot of people tell me I look young and whatever, but next month, I'm actually going to be 37. I've got 4 children. So I've been rapping since I was like 15 years old. I'd say I took it seriously when I was like 17 and tried to make a career out of it. But I first started like kicking rhymes from playing flipping computer, beating my friends at computer games. Because I was so good at computer games, one of my friends, his name was Big Ro. Every time I beat him on computer games, he was like an amazing freestyler. And he would just start freestyling, start snapping on you, and just, you know, in front of everyone would laugh, you know, and he would always have lyrics, anything he could just think of. And he was so talented, you know, he used to get to me. Every time he would leave, I used to feel salty and just think, man, he got me again. One day I put pen and I wrote some bars for that boy. And I just wrote. And he came back to my house the next day and I gave it to him. He was shocked. He couldn't believe it. I had like a rhyme. It was called Fat Boy because it was like a little bit big. Fat Boy, yeah. I was going in on him, and from there, he was extremely talented. And from then, he always, you know, I suppose he put me under his wing. He showed me, you know, like this freestyling thing. That was his main thing that he showed me, you know, the freestyling thing. Always make sure you could get your words out, your rhyming patterns and blah, blah, blah. And that's how I started from then, actually rapping myself. But my influence would have been from my big brother, from like my parents have got Caribbean background. My mum's from Jamaica, dad's from Barbados. Obviously, they're African. My dad's Rastafarian, so he's always preached Africa. My mum was that hard-headed Jamaican woman. I am Jamaican. So it was always reggae growing up in my house. But my older brother, he was the one who, the first person to bring hip hop in our house. First person to have he used to have these before he had 1210s, he had old decks where he would get records. God knows where he got them from. I was too young to know where he got them. Pinned all over his walls. So LL Cool J, Eric B and Rakim. Who else was he? He was the first, and NWA. I remember that was the first time there was swearing in music that I had ever heard in my life.
That was me too.
I remember that.
I'd never heard swearing before, ever. And I remember he played it. I was like, oh my gosh. it was just so surreal. But I used to love the imagery that I saw from, I think it was LL Cool J was the most records that he had. And I used to just the way how he would match his clothes. I always used to like that fly stuff. That was before I even knew about the lyrics or what they were saying. Mm-hmm. I used to like the imagery of the Eric B and Rakim stuff. But that was my hip-hop influence. But as for me, rapping myself, it would have been when I was 15, 16. So that would have been 90, 95. I would have first started rapping 96.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't even know if you know, but I had a very old mix CD because I was doing this before YouTube.
Right, exactly.
I had a very
because we're the same age. I'm going to be 37 in March.
Oh, so you're 79 as well?
Yes.
I'm 78.
Yeah. I graduated high school in 1997.
And so you're Pisces as well, right?
Yes.
Me too, yeah.
All three of us are Pisces.
We're all three Pisces.
My birthday is February 24th, 78.
He's going to be 38.
So he's February as well?
He's in February, I'm in March, but he's a Pisces because he's at the end of February.
Yeah, my birthday is the 20th, so that's
he's on the 24th.
4 days after.
No wonder we got the same
I know,
entry.
right? I'm March 9th, so I'm early March, so that's why I'm still a Pisces.
Okay.
We the same. You do look. We all look young. That's what happened when you take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? What they say, black don't crack, baby.
Exactly. Sorry, what were you saying? You were making a point.
I didn't even know where I was at now.
You were saying that you liked the music back in the day, and you were doing the music before YouTube. That's what you wwere saying.
Yeah. So I was doing the music before YouTube. I don't know if you know, but I had a double CD.
Wow.
I say I had. It's the only release I ever had. It's called Burgundy Chronicles. So I done a double CD release, and it had I remember I oversaturated it with songs, way too many songs. So there was 24 tracks on each disc. But because it's the only work I ever done, I never knew it was going to be the only thing I ever done, but that was the only thing I ever put out there. So I suppose now it still works out good. But after that, Logic was on there though. That's where I first met Logic.
Oh.
Logic was on there. Logic went to college with a guy that lived in my area, because Logic's from South London. I'm from West London, from the other side. Uh-huh. But he went to college with a guy that lived in my area. And the guy who lived in my area, he went and shot a guerrilla DVD once called Bound to Blow, which was really good. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have known Logic. And this guy went all over London, north, east, west, south. And he just filmed loads of talent, loads of guys that were rapping, and everyone. Triggs Vega was on that DVD as well. I didn't know who Triggs Vega was at that time either. No, I never knew none of these guys. But the only two people who I liked of the whole of that DVD was Logic and this guy, Triggs Vega. And I remember asking Ox, I was like, can you get in touch with that guy? He's very conscious. I like the way his lyrics were. Do you know what I mean? I had never heard anyone really rap that sort of consciousness before and sound good. Sometimes you get people do the conscious thing.
Oh, yes. They do not sound too good, yes.
You know what I mean? So even though I'm a conscious person in life, I listen to hip-hop. I want to hear good hip-hop still, innit? So Logic was one of the first people I ever heard conscious rapping and actually, still sitting on the beat and sounding good. Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, man, if you could get me in touch with that guy. And that's what he did. I think he had just passed his driving test back then as well. He was so excited to just drive. He was like, yeah, I'll come down and meet you. And he drove down to West London. We was in a studio. And he came and, we made some good music. I think it was an instrumental I had. The track was called The Children or something. It was a sample from the Gorillaz or something there. One of those ones. But yeah. And ever since then, I always kept that link with Logic, and that made me be in South London a lot. Even though my dad used to live in South London, musically, after meeting up with Logic, a lot of that People's Army stuff, and that I met so much other people and was able to work with so many others. And it's definitely a very good experience. Even though now I'm more on a different path as in where my mind's at and that, like, I don't even want to get signed anymore. I don't want no music money. I'm not interested in it. Now I'm just interested in the message. I'm quite happy where I am now in life. I'm back in education. I'm doing like a university doing creative writing. So I'm about to write a book as well. It's going to be a well, yeah, but it's not like it's not like an academic book or that. It's a straight up horror novel.
Oh, we know what you mean. Yeah.
This is just for you to escape. Yeah. It's just on the whole creative side, but I'm around loads of other like-minded people who want to write also. And it's good, man. I've been writing my whole bloody life. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's another thing about writing. You know, a lot of times we as African people try to say, okay, focus on like African oral traditions, but we also have a written tradition. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at the hieroglyphics. So, I mean, the thing about it is you take the best of those. We have the oral thing down and we got writing. What did Cyclone say? You try to we gave you writing and now you try to teach me on it or something like that. Or, you know, so it's exactly. So I think that's real good. I think and like you said, it's funny. Like you said, we're pretty much around the same age. So it's kind of like we were having our technical difficulties. We're experiencing the same thing. And I was just curious. I always like to ask brothers over there, what was it like, you know, in terms of like when you saw hip hop in the sense, but it's always emanating as quote unquote an American art form when really the roots are and it is an African art form.
Yeah.
How it's always amazing how it influenced the music and to find its own voice depending on where it is. It's kind of like being in Texas. It was kind of like everything was supposed to emanate out of New York, and then you kind of saw how Texas kind of, you know, is kind of like a blend, I would say, from like kind of like West Coast, and then also kind of like a little East Coast, but more West Coast. Because if you look at the migratory patterns of African people, a lot of family members in the United States from the South are in the West Coast. So I was just wondering how, like, growing up, the influences of hip hop, you know, influenced you outside of America, how it influenced you.
Well, I agree with what you're saying 100%. And with the hip hop being so big and dominated, like, and only until I was older when I actually studied in hip hop and found out the origins of where it originally came from, how it started, and it's like once you have knowledge of self, you realize everything goes back to Africa, innit? Like everything. But the American influence, like, it's just so big. It's almost like I call that place, and not even in a bad way, but it's like it's so evil in a way, as in
it is
everything nice in the world is there. Like every promise, every dream, like everything that can. It's like nothing can be that real. Like, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like even I just come back from the Million Man March, so I was over there, and even just it's just too much. Everything's amazing. Everything is humongous. Like the portion over there, even the portions of food, and you've got no concept of small. There's no concept.
Oh, well, come to Texas, it's even bigger.
This is what I'm saying. So whereas you'd think to yourself, like, even the conscious people, like in America, whereas it's humongous, everything, like, but then everything is humongous. Like the murder rate is humongous. Like the rape is humongous. Like everything, there's so much of you. It's such a big place. It's like the influence all over the world. I am telling you, it's almost like America runs the world, if you know what I mean. So, listen, you've got kids all over the world, man. Like, they're about this hip hop life. It's like our people deem what is cool, what is hip, what is in, like, what is right to wear. We don't get paid for none of this. But
yeah, exactly.
Our opinion matters so much. It's like what should be done, and there's no way that doesn't stem from right back to creation, to our ancestors, and to the. So that's just an influence we have regardless, even if in nowadays it's for a plus or like a positive or a negative, the influence is just always so great. So when I was growing up, the hip hop influence, like when I first started rapping, I would rap in an American accent. Like
that's what everybody says.
That's what everybody says we've talked to. Yeah.
I wasn't about to try and rap in a British accent. Like, ain't no one trying to hear that shit.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to be like the people who I heard doing it and who I came up doing it. Like, I think it took me till I got to at least, I don't know, 19 before I stopped. And like, you know, I think it was my brother, not the one who grew up on the hip hop, but I got like 5 brothers. So, and I'm the baby. So my brother was the first person who told me like, well, do you know what, bro, you're all right and that, but why do you rap in an American accent?
Yeah, exactly.
Rap like my friend, you know, Maestro, he's good and And I remember he played me like a track of Maestro, and straight away I just got sour and salty because you're my brother and you're telling me about some other. Like, nah, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. And I remember I was angry. I just went away storming it. But then it rested with me. I thought about it. Mm-hmm. Then I went back and changed everything. I remember I went back to my lyrics book. Every time it had like, so here I put nigga. I changed that to prayer, like the whole influence.
Yeah.
And I just unstructured everything until I just started to rap exactly how I speak. Mm-hmm. And obviously it's much more comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like,
I think a lot of people went through just because of the influence. And like I said, our people have such a strong influence. Even on ourselves, it's hard not to take on the influence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But once you get older and you get knowledge of self, you love being yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yep.
Whoop. Whoop. Raised in the 80s, where the black bread dies in the beginning of the movie, you gon' lose me. I beg a man rape me. I was a growing black boy, I needed positive visuals to stimulate me. Eurocentric pagans. If it wasn't for my Rasta daddy, wouldn't know about Africa, I praise him. Yes, no amen. When I was growing up, TV showed me hungry children in Africa need saving. The irony of trying to PE dehumanization, that's your occupation. Babylon nation, called Stockholm Syndrome from colonization. Why don't you report that fact? Because Karate Kid, Black and Orphan Annie got swag, I'm supposed to satisfy with that. It ain't enough, I need more, fam. Sow your seeds, we in danger, we need more, fam. Whenever we up benefiting us, they don't report that, but bring niggas down quicker than a whore, fam. Forget the news, I'd rather watch the truths on your can. Nah, don't tell me stop. Oh, you never clock the image of a black family on Goggle Box? What if I black both of your eyes in your goggles box? You'll finally get a glimpse of the pain that my people got, and then you charge me for a license to watch this box, to only keep me further mentally in a box. Got my brain on a track like my mental was in a box. But we be free thinkers like Clark, Ben and Diop. Yeah, open your eyes and question their black perception. They ain't trying to use no black scholars for black reference. Why? How media portray me, look how they play me, like a human zoo, my body in a cage. How media betray me, how they degrade me, a Rubik's Cube done, one color on display. How media portray me, look how they play me, like my sweet mama never had a brain. How media betray me, how they degrade me. We couldn't read or write, and now we write the way. How media portrays me, teachers in my children's school be looking at me like I'm crazy. How media portrays me, no job lazy, 10 baby mamas, 10 babies. How media portrays me, I was a savage till you came with white Jesus and saved me. How media portrays me, like the system was designed for my kind and they failed me. How media portrays me, we shoot guns, smoke weed, sell crack and beat daily. How media portrays me, we good enough to entertain but really I'm uneducated. How media betrays me, recognize Jewish Holocaust, Africans, slavery. How media betrays me, in the safety of my own home the TV is racist. How media betrays me, flies on our faces, we starving, showing our rib cages. Media ain't changing,
They depict if you black, you aggressive media basics. Not subtle media blatant, you dirty and black to whitewash. See the image they painting? True lies, media faking. One man's terrorist, another man's freedom fighter may win. On revolution, media mayhem. Pray then, they need more than an amen, cause their aim is to shoot after they aim in. Say when you gon' pay for African enslavement, cavemen, huh? How media portray me, look how they play me. Like a human zoo, my body in a cage. How media betray me, how they degrade me. A Rubik's Cube done, one color on display. How media portray me, look how they play me. Like my Rasta daddy didn't have a brain. How media betray me, how they degrade me. We couldn't read or write, and now we write the way.
Let me go ahead and get to this next question. We wanted to talk to you kind of like what we're just talking about now about the importance of identity for a people's liberation. And that's kind of where we were going. And then immediately the tracks we saw, we thought about is All Black Everything and African from Big Cakes and All Black Everything. Now, I remember the video. People I think I can identify in the video was probably Nate, Logic, and I think Colonised was in that video as well. There's just, I really love that video. And Tantrum is on the African hook. Both of these tracks on African on It's All Love, but both of these tracks emphasize the importance of discerning our identity as African people, and because it's just like Kwame Ture said, Brother Kwame Ture. Stokely Carmichael, formerly Stokely Carmichael, y'all. He said a people must know their national interests. So I want to know what was the history behind these two tracks. Man, I had a conversation with a fool, maybe we'll go upside here. I gotta come up with these tracks. And I just wanted to ask, and would you say one of the chief impediments for African people getting free is a lack of an African national identity? Because I just recently read a book where they say, well, people like to identify with African in terms of, we all have the same like music type vibration, but when it comes to politics and stuff like that, we all different. No, so I just want to ask you, and there's some other stuff I want to ask you, but I just want to get your take on the impetus behind those tracks and the importance of identity for our liberation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I definitely think the importance is like the most high importance. And the reason I've done those tracks, I think it was at a time where I just got fed up and had enough. Obviously, being African, we got to face certain things every day. But some days, man, you just had enough. Like, I just had enough when I've done that All Black Everything. I had enough of having to make excuses for, glorifying my blackness or enough for that. I don't want to pussyfoot around or step on eggshells, innit? Like, fuck racism. Like, my blackness is beautiful. And the children as well. But when your kids are just getting older and you just think, you know what, man, I ain't trying to see the same shit happen. Like I'm trying to cycle break in it. I don't want the same things to be ongoing in it. And I'm not saying I'm as great as my dad, but my dad was Rastafarian. When I was young, he instilled so much with me with the whole African thing. When I was growing up, there was a picture of Marcus Garvey on the wall. That was the first guy I remember. I don't even remember anyone before him. Like, even though we had pictures of Selassie and whatever, I just remember Garvey in the suit and you know what I'm saying? Just looking, he's the first guy I remember. I remember Africa on the wall before I remember anything. All these little things and symbolisms instilled in me are what made me who I am today. I want the children to be the same. I know the times are changing. It's a new time, It's different for the kids. They got more distractions than I had. And I don't want them to lose sight of what this thing is. I'm not saying I'm against any other race, but I don't love them as much as I love mine.
That's right.
No, but I'm allowed to. It's like,
and you are. I mean, it seems like whenever we always get punished for saying, like John Henry Clark said, we have to have the essential selfishness of survival. And then you look at us, it's quite clear they don't love us as much. So, I mean, what's wrong with that? We want to be self-preservation. I'm sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
The minute any one of us say something like that, it's all about, but it's about, that's what I'll say, man. Yeah, man, that's a beautiful black woman, or that's a fine black brother doing his thing. Yeah, but everyone's doing their thing. I'm not talking about us.
Yep, that is so true.
I'm concerned with us, and that's why I just had enough. It was the start of All Black Everything was when I said, you know what, I'm going to do this project. Obviously, I've had the Family First project ongoing for so long, it's like I could never finish. And as life changes, as it does, different things happen. So I said, you know what? I want to do just this whole project about Africa, us. If I have to go on the white man and go in on him, then that's just what it's going to be. I will take whatever backlash I'm going to get. Those who know me. Like my daughter, so her godfather, he's a white guy. I know that's a terrible line to say because that's what they'd be saying. I ain't racist. I got black friends. Like, my daughter's godfather is a white guy that I grew up with. I've known him from the sandpit. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got no problem with white people. I've got a problem with the mindset of that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Shit and da. That I don't like, innit?
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that there's some white people that they don't even realize that they're instilled like that. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you're white and you're of a certain age and you were good in school and you were properly educated, then you're racist just by default.
Yeah.
And it's not full. It was just because you was in the education system. You learned what they told you. And if you learned that to the best of your ability, that makes you stereotypical to some certain way. You're just going to see people a certain way. You're going to always think the Western way is the best way.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to go to places and say, oh yeah, the foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even say words like that anymore. The foreigner. I don't say, oh, I'm going to foreign or I say I'm going abroad, but I don't say, oh, that guy's foreign, because I know I'm more foreign than any of them.
That's right.
That's true.
I shouldn't be here.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I'm black or da. Me, you, and the brother, we should have all been in the same place.
Exactly.
So, this identity thing, it means so much to me. And the family first thing, when it does come out on the 20th of February, like, I'm shit with promotion as well. So, you know, like, it's going to be one of those things where it will seep and people will eventually, gradually get it. But I'm telling you, man, it's like the best work I've ever done in my life. I've never done anything so wholeheartedly for our people. Did you hear the ancestor veneration song?
Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say. All those tracks you sent are like, y'all must have worked on those for years or something. Those are some jamming tracks.
No, I definitely didn't work on them for years. I didn't work on them for years, but it's just the feeling, as in, like, you know, when it all just builds up and it's like, man, they just disrespecting us. They don't want to. Do you know what I'm saying? And
I know exactly what you're saying.
I done like not a crash course, but like for a year. So just like a year course before I went into uni. I done a quick year in college on African and Caribbean studies. And that was one of the best education times I've had in my life. I've never enjoyed education so much than that subject. Do you understand? There was so much things and not even enough time either to like properly grasp everything. But there were so many things we went through from the stage. We started with Kemet as well, like this. They give you it from the beginning. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not on that bullshit where they teach you from enslavement. Also, you lot were slaves. And
yeah.
It was taught, the class was taught by a beautiful sister. It's in the national curriculum. It's actually the only course in Britain that's in the national curriculum that does African Caribbean studies. Everywhere else is some like private thing that you have to pay separately. This is actually only one place that does it. And the course is amazing. That you learn everything. African spiritual systems. You learn about Santeria. You learn about a distinction for that as well on that test. it was since I've done that as well, like, it just made me come back all full circle and say, yeah, we need to do this thing, and for the children as well. I don't want to be one of them ones where my children get older and hear my music and say, oh, Dad was chatting shit.
Yeah.
Like, what was he talking about? What was Dad doing? Or da-da-da. Like, no, when they grow up and hear Dad's music, they're going to say, Dad was going in. Like, he was system. Like, he always been talking that stuff.
Now I understand it.
Literally, man. And the Family First, like even the name of the project, Family First, it originally was to do with what's going on in my house and my home, but all of that stuff had to get put on the back burner. Like you said, see that song Toast?
Yes.
Toast is from the original Family First project. So the original Family First project didn't have much to do with Africa. It had just to do with my household. And Toast was going to be like the up lead to that. But then the whole just being sick of these people and how they treat us in the system, I said, look, man, I have to put it on the back burner. I got to deal with this Africa issues and da-da-da-da. And the Family First stuff that the Toast come from as well, I suppose it's a little bit more sad as well. Like, this is more angry and militant. Sad stuff can come afterwards. But it will touch you now as well, brother. Now that I know about your brother and your sister as well, I got a song called Letters from Jail about my mum being incarcerated when I was a baby. I got a song called Stop about my sister being on crack. And that song's emotional. Even now when I hear it, I don't like hearing it all the time.
Yeah.
But those are on the Family First project. This is still called Family First, but it's like a mixtape, Family First, free download, and it's mainly concerning with Africa. I might call it the Family First Africa for Africans edition.
It's funny you say, like, the thing about it is, like, I understand what you mean about, like, that song, you know, that's the whole thing about, like, after you start listening to stuff for a while, and, like, when people be talking about, you know, the crack and all that stuff, and it's cool, and you actually see people around you that you used to respect, you know what I'm saying? Like, my older brother, he used to be, like, you know, somebody I really looked up to, and, you know, I tried to get him some Malcolm X. They used to always call me little baby Malcolm and stuff because I've always been on, you know what I'm saying, just growing up in Austin. You said Texas is hardcore, especially you grow up there. But it's just, you know, I don't see it as, you know, a lot of people want to, when I listen to Have a Toast, I think, you know, it's not necessarily a either or in terms of like, you know, I used to have that dichotomy. Do you listen to this type of hip hop or conscious hip hop? But we live in this world. And, you know, as an African or as a, you know, and as a human being, you're going to have situations where that girl is going to be that shadow getting on your damn nerves. You're going to have that situation. You ask yourself, how is it from Britain to Jamaica to Venezuela? They got the crack in our neighborhood, but we ain't got the Whole Foods in the neighborhood. I'm from Austin, the home of Whole Foods, right? I remember when it first opened. You know what I'm saying? And we would say that's where the white folks go. But we could get all the other stuff to us. You see what I'm saying? And that's why when you understand colonialism, you know, we live under colonial domination here. So like you said, it's kind of like, everything is the bigger portions, but we also got that other bigger brainwash mentality where you can say, I went and left and went to the Million Man March. A lot of us don't leave the block. Yeah. And we trying to have a world analysis based on what that mammoth beast is projecting out of those cultural hegemonic type systems and telling us how we to relate to our people and how we relate to Africa. And I like what you said about you actually got Diop in a class and all this stuff. I got Diop on my book. I got Black United Black. I got Chinwezu. I can't see that. To Destroy This Temple, Obi Egbuna. I even got some Maxim Gorky. I listen. I read a lot of different stuff. But in terms of, we had to do this on our own. But once you see we live in a political economy that's basis is the destruction of African people. They getting coltan, diamonds, all that stuff. And that plays its effect on us to this day. We are the richest people on earth, but we ain't taking no asses. We need royalties for that stuff. And so I just wanted to say, it's just like when people say, oh, well, how do you relate, you know, selling dope and stuff like that, and then say to Africa, it's either or. No, it's not either or, because the thing about it is, to learn about Africa here, just like you said, you had that class only in the national curriculum. It's seen as some kind of side pseudoscience that is just some crazy stuff that you're into over here. You know, it's not even like official. It's just, they say, oh, you're just trying to make yourself feel better. But when we understand history, people say, well, slavery was way back there. As I speak to you in English, I'm just colonized by a British man who named himself after a 15th century cracker named Amerigo Vespucci. Okay, we need to be real about it. That's why we both speak English, and my patois is a little country. Your patois is a little like want me, brother. You know what I'm saying? But we the same. And I just, you know, basically, anyway, I'm my bad. Go ahead.
Basically, what are you trying to say?
I'm just getting emotional. Shit, I'm having a toast.
I'm telling you, man, it gets like that, man.
Yeah, it does. I agree.
Okay, so let me go on to the next question. Oh, the next
the
question.
next question we wanted to talk.
Actually, hold on. I just want to add this. This is my point. Big Frizz, you know how people now say like, "Oh, this is the new black," or "Oh, this is the new black." You know what I'm saying? Stuff like
I'm still down with the same old black from 19 how long?
Exactly.
We're still here.
Yeah.
What happened to the old black?
What happened to the? Yes. Okay. I wanted to mention this because the thing about it is, what it really does is, you know, what happened to the old black And black has to be, like Chin Ways, who said, black needs to stop being recognized as just suffering.
The suffering, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So, like, for instance, in 2011, I think it was 2011, when I first heard people start using this reference of, so-and-so's the new black, it's very genocidal because what it wants to do is harness African struggle, that we need to struggle with our own contradictions, our brothers on crack, our sisters going on jail and fool, stuff like that. We need to utilize that to build our own nation, but they want to say, oh, we're the new black, so you got to help us out. I first heard this in a seemingly quote-unquote conscious type setting in terms of there's a video by this rapper named The Narcissist, and he's going through the airport, and there's a brother next to him, and he said, which one do you think they going to search first? That's what the black dude said. And then the Narcissist said, Iraq is the new black, dog. They going to get... It's like, dude, you might have a beef with the white folks, and the white folks is bombing you now, but they never let up on us. And as a matter of fact, we can't forget how we lost Kemet, Mauritania, Libya, and all them others. Exactly. We got to know about Africa. We talk, how did the Arabs get in there? Just like somebody who didn't have a well-rounded understanding of history, he said, Egypt isn't black, it's Arab. Look at it now. You see what I'm saying? But this guy, and even in Iraq...
If you keep it real, man, then motherfuckers don't like us either.
No, they don't. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. Because if you think about in Basra, we led a revolt of the Zanj and all that stuff. They were enslaved. There's still black folks in Iraq. We are enslaved in Iraq.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now, yeah.
In Mauritania, they still got us on lock right now. So I move away from this whole people of color, and I'm a part of an African nation.
Yeah.
I'm a part of the African nation. We dispersed all over the world, but we have a relationship to Arabs as well. It's not because they might look at the Sudan. And that's not to negate what Western imperialism does to them, but we got an Arab imperialism to do something just as nasty. So when I tell people be against Zionism, I'm not saying don't be against Zionism just because, I'm telling people Zionism does some nasty, dirty, disgusting, despicable stuff to Palestinian people. But also, Zionism has thwarted the African Revolution as well. Yes. They've been in Tanzania, they in Congo to this day. So you have a relationship with Zionism as an African. Yep. So don't try to segue it through the Palestinian struggle to negate yours as an African. My bad.
They never want you to, I don't know, like even grieve for your own people. It's like the minute you mention anything, they want to say, oh, but Jewish people went through this.
Yeah.
Oh, but like stop trying to compare other people's atrocities to like the ongoing shit that's still in 2016 what people are putting up with from 1900. There's no comparison. There can't be. There is. It doesn't matter what people you want to bring up or what atrocity that's happening now or what happened in France or what happened in that. Nothing can compare, innit?
Yeah.
They need to stop that every time we bring up something like, oh, but the people in blah, blah, blah and blah, blah, blah. It's sickening, man.
Nobody wants to deal with it because everybody built what they have on our back. So they don't want to deal with that contradiction. You know what I mean? They don't want to hear it because then they have to recognize their own ability to be able to live the way they do because we live the way we do. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody wants to basically tell us to forget our suffering, you know what I mean? Use our energy for them. And because everybody else has a plan for Africa, right? So we have to be out of the way so that they can get all their trinkets, their phones and all that stuff. And even if they don't consciously know what that is, just like you said, that's that training that you get. That's that training you get in all these Western institutions.
It's like subconsciously.
Right, yeah. Right, that's how people are programmed. And I'm not just saying white people. You know what I mean? So a lot of us are complicit in that because of the training.
When you're over here, loads, I'm sure like over there as well, even probably more over there because it's so big, but what's even worse than a racist white person is a lost black person.
Oh yeah.
That has no idea. Like they will fight with you against everything. Then will be talking about. You see, like how you said your family joke call you Baby Malcolm, and they call me Captain Africa. Like everything you say, and even though these are jokes, you got to look at the underline. Like, why are you given a name? Because you're for your people,
right?
Why? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? What is that? Why can't we all just be proud to be who we are and know that, this guy's spreading the message more than this guy and he's helping more people. He's helping people. It's like you get dubbed with, don't you think you're going too much now on this Africa? Or don't you think you're doing too much of these Africa studies? Don't you think you need to? No, I don't think. Why would I need to? So I can be more brainwashed like a white guy. Like, I actually love it every day when you're refuting something that, you know how hard it is to unlearn all of their bullshit. Like when you've grown up with it and then when you shake some of it off, like, you should get awarded for this shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like the river runs, so will we. Far from home, far from home. Like the river runs, so will we. Far from home, far from home. All around the world.
Yeah, we are the children of the colonized. How can I look on my motherland with foreign eyes? That's the African diaspora, book of world history, missing African chapters. My ancestors, forced contribution. You choose reparation or retribution. But don't you ever dare in your life ever compare the Jewish Holocaust to my ongoing nightmare. My Alpha got me praying to my Op, where's the order? In all this, we were underdeveloped, made the West look gorgeous. A plagiarized book, the religion that they brought us. King James wrote a book named Demonology, then commissioned a version of your Bible, you follow me? It seems that we forgot about the essence. The writing's been on the wall, the metal nature.
So will we. Far from home, far from home. Like the river runs, so will we. Far from home, far from home. Like the river.
God's plan, one order, ain't none purer. Skin tone onyx, so we hated by the Führer. Shark Island was the blueprint, blood on the leaves. They tried to bury us, but didn't know that we were seeds. The growth was intense, so the field wouldn't see. And they still bear fruit from our family tree. But God save Africa, black on black massacre. You should look back, pain felt like sciatica. Africa, Cape Carvers, at Cape Verde Harbor. Biased like Pope Pius the second they touched down. Imagine imaginary lines, keeping you bound. My sisters taken across borders. No Liam Neeson for these African daughters. Born in the deep end, swim good in these waters. Reach at the shallow and then walk on the surface. When that storm resurface on the board, we gon' surf
Like
this
the
guy.
river runs, so will we. Far from home, far from home. Like the river runs, so will we. Far from home, far from home. Like the river runs.
I tell a priest your holy book stained with slavery, committed crimes in the name of the same book you waving. And Islam too, there's no excuse for the trans-Saharan route you too were enslaving. I tell a priest your holy book stained with slavery, committed crime in the name of the same book you waving. And Islam too, there's no excuse for the trans-Saharan route you too were enslaving.
Runs, so will we. Far from home, far from home. Like the river runs, so will we. Far from home, far from home. So will we. Far from home, far from home. Like the river runs, so will we. Far from home, far from home.
All right, everybody, that was part 1 of our interview with Big Frizzle. And we want to thank Big Frizzle for doing that interview. We had a great time. And if you want to finish listening to this entire interview, then all you have to do is go to our store at shop.conscientization101.com. That is shop.conscientization101.com. Or you can go to the website at conscientization101.com or c101magazine.com and click on the store link. And there you will have access to, of course, this interview and all of C101's unabridged interviews, our musical commentaries, and our merchandise. And don't forget to sign up for our mailing list, because that is where you will be able to be in the loop. We'll give you all our new additions, all our new issues. You'll have all that information when we have new content up. So if you sign up for our mailing list, that's where you will get really good information. So don't forget to do that. And most importantly, you will be supporting 100% independent media. This episode has featured sounds from
Chairman Mav, Sincere Soup, from his album Soup, Logic and Last Resort, Walking Away, from their album True Talk, the instrumentals. Chairman Mav, Telegram, from his album Soup, Big Frizzle. The tracks follow, respectively, from his album Family First, Africa for Africans edition. And they are Shaka Zulu, Boys in the Hood, and Hell's Kitchen. Logic and Last Resort, Essence, from their album True Talk, the instrumentals. Various artists, This Is Black History. Jaja Souls, featuring Logic and Big Frizzle, Activist. Nate, featuring Big Frizzle and Jai, Human Nature, from his album Life and Lyrics. Logic and Last Resort, featuring Big Frizzle, It's Funny, from their album More True Talk. Logic and Last Resort, featuring Big Frizzle, Shadow, from their album True Talk.
And Big Frizzle, Logic, Big Cakes, Turbulence, Do My Thing, from the album The People's Army, General Salute, Volume 2. Logic and Big Frizzle, featuring Big Cakes, Soldier, from their album Academics. Big Frizzle, featuring Triggs, Vega, Toast, from his album Family First, Africa for Africans edition. Big Frizzle, All Black Everything, from his album Family First, Africa for Africans edition. Big Frizzle, How Media Portrays Betrays Me, from his album Family First, Africa for Africans edition. Big Frizzle, Children of the Colonized, from his album Family First, Africa for Africans edition. And Chairman Mav, The System, from his album Zoo.
We just want to remind you guys that all the links to these songs and to these albums are in the description of this podcast episode on the website. So when you click on them, you can purchase them. Academics is a free album. You can download that. We'll have a link to that. Big Frizzle is a free album now. You don't listen to them, you know how profound this brother is, so you need to go on ahead and click on the link and download it for free. He's a generous man. He's giving to you all this hard work for free. So y'all be prepared for part 2 in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we're going to come back with the new Big Frizzle, part 2. And remember, get the unabridged interview of Big Frizzle from this part 1 in the store, okay? But I also wanted to give y'all a little tidbit, because this is the first podcast back. Next week, we will have a track I produced and a poem I wrote called Our Way the Way, Ogun's Theme. It's a tight-ass track. I was feeling a certain kind of way about a year ago. And
Late at night,
I was thinking, talking to the ancestors, talking to the bookman, duty, because it was my duty. And I wrote this. Y'all can read, y'all be able to read it next week. You'll be able to purchase it next week. You can listen to the preview. Once you listen to the preview, I know you're going to want to purchase it, but be on the lookout for that next week and the week after that. 2 weeks, we got my brother, Big Frizzle, playing the excerpts. Also, the unabridged will be available. So, do your homework. Go download, if you haven't already, Family First, Africa for Africans edition. Links in the description of this podcast episode on the website, C101 Magazine, conscientization101.com. Either or, you get there, go to the store, check it out, tell a friend, and I'm going to let Zari remind you of a few other things before we get out of here.
Okay, so you can also find us on Twitter at Conscien1. That's CONSCIEN1, the number 1. On Facebook at Conscientization101. And Instagram at C101 editors. And don't forget to sign up for the mailing list for updates, because we're going to give like updates that are going to tell about the new videos, the new books, articles every week, new products in the store, and the mailing list will also have updates that we may not post on social media. So you want to go there and you want to sign up.
All right, so that's all we have. We are back. I know you've missed us. We've missed you. Big Frizzle, thank you. We love you. You know Big Frizzle. If you ever come to the States, you know you got a place to stay down here in Texas now. Just like when I come over across the pond, what they call it, the pond, right? There wasn't no damn pond when they put us on that damn slave ship. I'm gonna tell you that wasn't no goddamn pond.
That wasn't no damn pond
I
at all.
I got a pond for a motherfucker.
Was not a pond.
I got me a pond. I got the pond in the system. Chairman Master says the system. I got some for your system.
I bet you we felt like it was another universe.
Yeah, it is. It still is another universe. I'm sitting there speaking English.
I know that's
why
right.
all the Africans who speak English been colonized by the English. We say them. What we say? We say them laws.
Man, say fool, don't be going up there over there with them laws. You know what I'm talking about?
We say them laws, but if it's fair, I say da them all them, but da. You know what I'm saying?
We all say them.
We always say them because we still have the African, we still have our accents, but the English grammar. Well, I can get linguistical on you. But Big Frizzle, you definitely need no MC cosign. Me and you gonna do an album. We gonna be singing, cause man, I got some songs. Man, boy, I tell you, Big Frizzle, man, I be singing, man, and we, man, look, that's my brother right there. But Big Frizzle coming back in 2 weeks. Yep. Next week, check out Ogun's theme, all the way. Ogun's theme, that's my goddamn thing, goddamn. All right, Conscientization 101. We back. We ain't going nowhere again. And if we do, we gonna be like Marcus Garvey. You gonna catch our asses in the whirlwind, baby. C101, we